Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As promised, this is part 2 of a 2-part series. I wanted to get this out to you guys sooner, but here it is. So if you didn't watch, part 1 of this series was called Inshore Saltwater, and I ran through 3 beginner baits for beginner fishermen if you're wanting to get into inshore saltwater fishing. 3 good lures you could try / baits. So if you haven't already, go check that video out. But this is part 2. This is going to be 3 lures for bass fishing. I'll say right off the bat, I threw live shrimp under a popping cork out there for inshore fishing. I'll say bass fishing, I don't use live bait. I use lures only. I'm here to tell you, in the state of Florida, if you take that same popping cork and you put a gold shiner under it or a little bitty bluegill, you're going to catch big bass. Me personally, I don't really do that. So let's get into it. Bait number 1 is what's called a soft plastic stick bait. Some people might call this a Senko or a Senko, but it's a stick bait, stick worm. The first company that came out with it, Gary Yamamoto, it was called the Senko, and basically every other plastic company has copied it. So a Senko / stick bait. This one happens to be the Yum Dinger. It's a good bait. It's readily available at Walmart. Some good colors: green pumpkin, chartreuse. So this is green pumpkin, chartreuse tail. It's a good color. This one is watermelon red. 2 good colors. Another one you could try would be like a June bug or black and blue. Some good Florida colors. My suggestion, if you're just trying to build up your bass fishing tackle box, buy 2 or 3 packs of different colors. Throw them out there. You'll catch fish on them. And then you'll have confidence in that color. And that's what you'll like to use. That's my suggestion. But anyways, there's kind of 3 ways that I like to rig the Yum Dinger or stick bait. So it's really kind of a 3-in-1 deal. And even there's more ways than these 3 that you could rig it. But these are the 3 I'm going to show you. First would be wacky rig or wacky style. So that's how you rig it. You hook it in the middle. You cast it out there and it'll kind of dance like this. Cast it out there, pop it off the bottom, it'll dance, then it'll sink back down. It drives fish crazy. They love it. If you're trying to fish for bass on bed around the spawn, it's a good lure for that. But this is the hook. It's a 1/0 size by owner. And it's got little weed guards on it. It's not totally weedless, but it comes through cover pretty good. I'm not sure what it's called. I think I said it's made by owner a second ago. I'm sorry, guys. I believe Eagle Claw makes this. It's available at Walmart. It has a guy named Chris Zaldane on the little pack. But it's pretty inexpensive, and it's a great hook. I've caught huge fish on this little hook. I caught a 9.5 pounder on it. I've caught 6s and 7s on it. Good hook. So that's rig number 1. Number 2, you can rig it the same way, wacky style, with this worm. You just slip what's called a nail weight in it. You see how I stuck it in the head like that? This is a nail weight. It slides in there. It just gives it a little extra weight, a little more casting distance. You can fish it a little faster like that. And this is actually segmented to where I can break off segments if I want to make it a little bit lighter. So another way I'll rig it is what's called Texas style or Texas rigged. This is a 3/0 extra wide gap hook, if I'm being honest. It's not my favorite hook for this application. I would more go to a straight shank worm hook. But I'll quickly show you guys how to kind of Texas rig a bait. Just slide it in the head a little ways, come out. Slide it up what's called the shank of the hook over the eye, and then just pop it up and just poke it in there. And I know it's not perfectly straight. You want to get it really straight, but that's why I said a straight shank's a little bit better for this style worm. And then just on your line right above it, you could take, like, this is a 3/16 ounce weight. It's a good size. You could do 5/16. But just fishing it on a spinning rod, figuring out how, I wouldn't go too heavy. It's just going to come in in the weeds and stuff. I'd stick kind of like the 1/8 of an ounce up to 5/16 of an ounce range, let's say, is a good weight range. Just buy a pack of them. Buy a pack of them at Walmart. They're cheap. 3/16 ounce, that's a pretty good weight size. Next bait. Let's say you're out there fishing the stick bait. You're getting a lot of bites, but you're like, dang, man, small fish. Or let me try something else. They're clearly eating a plastic lure today. Maybe try a Zoom Magnum Lizard. It's another good one to learn. You can rig it Texas rigged, just like I said with the stick bait, the same way. Just kind of hop it off the bottom. Maybe try dragging it along the bottom. Maybe cast it out there and just swim it. Let the tail swim along. Try different retrieves and see if you're catching more fish doing one than the other that given day. But I think it's a good lure to learn. And this one I've caught fish on. It's got an arm ripped up. I can see where it's been bit up, but I'm gonna still use it. It's probably good for another couple bites. So let's say you're out there, you're throwing the lizard, reeling it along, and they're hitting it. But you've missed a few, or the wind's blowing, and you're like, okay, they're hitting the lizard when I just move it. Maybe there's something even better I could go to. Well, a great lure, in my opinion, moving bait, to learn how to fish moving baits, is just a simple spinner bait. This is made by War Eagle. It's called the Finesse Spinnerbait. This one's a white skirt, but they have like silver skirts. They have white with chartreuse, plain chartreuse. Usually they'll have one gold spinner and a silver blade, 2 blades. But it's a good lure to just kind of learn how to get the feel on a moving bait. You'll learn how to cast it out there. Okay, if I reel it real quick, I can burn it kind of along the top, almost like a topwater. Okay, if I slow it down, it'll be deeper. Okay, I can speed it up and bring it over that little rock pile that I keep hitting. And then if I slow it back down, it'll drop back over. In my opinion, a spinnerbait's a good lure to learn how to do that with. It puts out a nice amount of thump, this one does, but not an overpowering amount of thump to where you can still fish it on like a, let's say, medium heavy style spinning rod and figure out. And then it's got a nice sharp hook on it to where if you're just reeling it along and you just keep reeling and you just reel hard and kind of sweep in, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to hook the fish and land them. But anyways, guys, 3 beginner baits for bass fishing. There's plenty of great baits out there you can learn on, but these are 3 that I kind of learned a lot on, and I still continue to use to this day. Soft plastic stickworm, Magnum Lizard, and a spinnerbait. Thanks for watching the video. As always, please like, subscribe to the channel, comment, give me feedback. I'm going out fishing this weekend with my brother in the kayaks. We're going to do a little saltwater fishing, so gonna bring the GoPro with me. Hopefully we get some good footage for y'all, but if not, God bless. Take care and tight lines.